7 p.m. we'll call the meeting to order, March 14th, 2024. We do have a flag. Pledge of allegiance.
Make a note, make sure.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, roll call.
Flores?
Here.
Gonzalez?
Here.
Hussein?
Here.
Jost?
Here.
Lisa J?
Here.
Pelletier here. Puzo?
Here.
Thank you.
Next, public comments, agenda items only. It's just us here tonight. Okay. Before we approve the consent agenda, are there any items that you would like to be pulled off for further discussion?
I have a question on the check.
I'm sorry?
On a check, so
Okay,
I if
so
you
we're gonna
have to
pull
take
the,
that off.
we're gonna pull the financial reports? And did you have,
Yeah, I had a check too.
on the financial reports, okay,
I
so,
pulled it up.
okay, so,
And also something on the IPLAR, or IPLAR, whatever you call it.
okay, well, then, in that case, since we're pulling out two things, and there's three things on the agenda, I think we'll just kind of separate everything, so I'll make a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes from February 8th, 2024.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, corrections, comments on that? Okay.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes from February 8th, 2024, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Okay, so, we're gonna move down, the consent agenda as, you know, the items that were on the consent agenda, so, we're at the financial reports, so we can open it up for discussion. I'm gonna make a motion and then we can discuss, so I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports from February 2024.
No, second.
Thank you. Okay. Financial reports.
I'm just going to skip to the check register.
Yep.
8160, fast forward for 11,600. But when I signed that check, I thought the bill was dated in 2023. Is that a 2023?
Yes,
Yes.
it is being credited
Yeah.
credited
To
back
that
to
budget.
2023. Yes,
Budget.
yes.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
that's all I need to know.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
It didn't, you know, that's something, is that a yearly thing? Or,
Yeah, there's usually in January, February, there's a handful of checks that either depending on the timing of the mail or different things like that, that we can, when we have up to a certain date, that we can credit things back to 2023, as long as like the work is performed in that year, or we've received delivery of a physical item, that kind of thing. So
Okay.
because the work on this was done all in 2023, we were able to credit that
okay,
back to
that's all I needed,
2023.
because it just was a big
Yep.
amount, and I was just questioning that.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
was-
for the
And
strategic.
nobody was here.
and that was for the strategic plan. Yeah, yeah.
That was the,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, that was the last
So
payment for the
it's not an
strategic plan.
annual
Okay.
fee. Is that what you were asking as well?
Well,
It
it's
was for
like-
the strategic plan.
Oh,
That was the
okay.
last payment, this is
Okay,
the
that
second
was
half of the
also-
payment for the strategic plan, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anya, did you know?
Yes, on the
That's it.
same page at the very bottom, check 8190 to Palin, what's that $1,200?
It is to reimburse her for Public Library Association conference attendance. She paid for her hotel with her personal credit card, and so we reimbursed her for that. Kaylin also received a grant from the National Library of Medicine, or some organization that I had seen that there was a possible grant opportunity
You told us this
for,
last month.
yeah, for people to attend, so, virtually all of Kaylin's, Public Library Association conference attendance will be offset by the $3,500 grant that we got. So we just haven't received that yet, but she had to make her hotel reservations. I don't know if, it's possible Melissa wasn't here or I wasn't here, and so, she used her personal credit card for that, so we just reimbursed her for that. And she is the only staff member that will be attending PLA this year, which is in Columbus.
Good choice.
Did you have, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're open. Any other questions on the financial reports?
Okay. Gonzalez, approving the financial.
Yes.
Hussein,
Yes.
Jost,
Yes.
Meister,
Yes.
Pelletier, yes, Puzo,
Yes.
Flores,
Yes.
Okay. So going down the line, I'm gonna open it up and we can discuss. I'm gonna make a motion to, approve the FY 2024 Illinois Public Library Annual Report.
I'll second.
Thank you.
So,
Of course, please.
on page 5, my phone number is incorrect. So I'm not really expecting you to call me, but.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Thank you for checking.
Yeah.
You know, do I need to?
We did look it over, but we didn't.
looked it
memorize
over,
it.
but so,
Yeah.
we didn't, yeah, we didn't cross it.
This was like a landline that has.
Yeah,
been defunct for
and
2
my
years
apologies,
now.
some of this information autofilled from last year, so, I will make a note that that number is no longer valid.
So should we do that motion, the report as amended, or?
Well, we can't really amend the report,
Yeah.
because it's already submitted, so, and it gets submitted electronically. I will, reach out to the state library and indicate that the phone number that is on there for you, and if they need to correct it at their end, because it was due March 1st, so before that, they can unlock the report for me, so I can make corrections, but I will, it may be a minor issue for them, and they might just
Contact you via email if they needed to.
if they
as well.
needed
Okay.
to, so. But I've made a note, I'll make a note in my records too.
All right,
And
thanks.
we'll make sure that our records are updated for trustee contact, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna. I mean, just to close it out, should we just voice vote for now? Even it is.
Yeah, 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 that's fine.
Okay.
Because what you're actually doing is ratifying it.
Yeah.
Since it's already,
It's already
actually been
submitted.
taken, but yeah.
Yeah, okay,
But I'm making note for the future, and we'll make sure that our internal records are updated as well.
okay.
Okay, so we're voice voting on this one then? Okay. Approving the fiscal year 2024 IPLAR, everyone in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right, President's report, I just thought I would, offer a couple of reminders. There was, an email that Pam sent out about the Laconia trustee banquet. That is on Friday, May 3rd, in Oak Park. Director of Advocacy Group, Everly Library, and Kelly Jensen of Book Riot will be the featured guests, so if you're interested, everyone should have received that email. 6 to 9 p.m., 19th Century Club, Oak Park. So if anyone's interested, please let Pam know. And then, with the Spring Forum Trustee Workshops, can anyone still register maybe?
Yes.
The upcoming ones?
Yes.
So just want to put this on everyone's radar. So these are virtual trustee workshops. I actually have not viewed the first one yet because I wasn't able to. But since I registered, I was able to have access to the recordings. And just so happens that the next one coming up in April, entitled Illinois Library Trustees, What's the Job and What I Wish I Had Known, is being the main speaker is Amanda from Fast Forward Libraries, who we all happen to know. So, the one last month was, this month, sorry, it's March, inclusive placemaking, understanding the power of an accessible library for all. And then the one in May, the topic of that one is director searches and evaluations, tips and tricks from 2 veterans. So, it's interesting content, and so everyone should have received a link to that as well.
The only one that may not have, Mark, because I don't know when you started having problems, I'll be happy to send those to your personal email so you can see them.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's 2 hours, like the next one coming up is April 6th, 10 to, it's Saturday morning, 10 to 12. But if you register beforehand, you get access to the recording, so just wanted to give those kind of friendly reminders there. As long as just another reminder to file your statement of economic interest, so it's our due diligence. Okay,
Lima also attended the trustee dinner last year with me.
I did.
and
Oh, you
I
did?
think-
It was
yeah.
really, really nice, and if anybody has the time, I highly recommend going, because number one, it's in a great location, beautiful setting, the dinner was great. I got to know Pam a little bit better, because you've got like one-on-one time, you're right there together. Met some new trustees, because it's a very sociable kind of event. And you sit around a table to have dinner with someone who, the person we met was a brand new trustee, and she was very energetic and interesting to talk to. So you get to meet other people who do what we do. It's kind of getting beyond what we have here, and you can make network contacts and enjoy a good meal in the whole process. So I highly recommend it. If you can go. Very nice.
The library obviously pays for that. If you do want to attend, let me know, and then we can look at the tickets. But I second what Lima says. There, I mean, I have been to several of these throughout the years, and these last year's was particularly good. And the group that is planning this series of them, the people that are in charge of it, are doing a really nice job, I think, of getting really good content, which is not always the case sometimes. So. Yeah, I think that they're well worth it.
Yeah, I think the speakers that were there, they made what they had to say very engaging, very understandable. You could just take little notes and, bring it back
And I
here.
think the content this year in particular, as we've seen such an increase in challenge to materials and challenge to libraries and that kind of thing, about what we do in public libraries, I think it's particularly timely as well.
Yeah.
So. But certainly let me know, and Mark will forward that stuff to you so you can see as well.
All right, committee reports. So finance, we went over with the financial reports. Facilities, I mean, latest stuff, especially with elevator, Pam's gonna kind of cover with her. Staff reports, policies under new business, so we'll get to that. So we're over to staff reports. First, is there anything you wanted to highlight or add to yours?
Unless anyone has any specific questions about my report, I did, you also have my progress towards mobiles
Yes.
so far, so my first report of the year for that. But I don't think I have anything additional to add in my written report at this time, unless anyone has any questions about either my stuff or the department manager's
For
reports.
the strategic plan, it says that you're gonna be, or the library will be introducing it to the public in March, like soon?
Yes, so we're in the final stages of designing the one-page graphic in particular. And then once that's done, we're gonna make it available to the public. There's announcement in our latest newsletter, so the one that's gonna be coming out about that. So we have a separate page on our website that will have all the updated information as well, but then we'll have hard copy available. So we intend to I would imagine it's probably sometime next week or so. Tina had to get through the latest iteration of the newsletter, and it just got sent to the printer last week, I think, someday last week, so. Yeah, we introduced it to the staff, the big strategic plan, and then the implementation team and I, which is the managers, are working on specific activities and objectives for that. So, and then we'll solicit we'll make what we've come up with available to the staff, and then we'll have further discussion of that with the whole staff at our staff in service as well. So. And then the plan is, we've been developing kind of a tool that we're gonna use for it, kind of a tracking tool, and then, we'll track things throughout the year. We've also been discussing how we want to report out about activities and how that may change either our monthly reports to the board or that kind of thing. So we're still working on a number of those things. So over the next few months, all of that stuff will start to come together as well.
Any other questions or comments?
I'm curious on what Ed Tamras reported, that Phil, the owner, decided to pause repair. Like,
for more info.
yeah, I'm like, how does this guy decide?
Oh.
Well, I don't want to fix the tiles anymore, so I'm just gonna pause. What's up with that?
I was curious about that too. Turned out that. In the staff report.
Oh, so the reason that they were pausing that is because there was some warping in the new flooring that was in there. When that was happening, it was very, very humid, and so Phil was recommending that we wait to see if things settled down a little bit before they start ripping things up to repair them. We wanted to see how much settling there was, so that's we decided to hold off on doing anything until we saw if the winter months kind of affected that, and it has.
Yeah.
So, but we'll look at that again as it, you know, if it continues to do that, we'll look at that as well.
Excuse me.
All right. So, move on to unfinished business. Well, our update on the Senate committees on Local Government Efficiency Act is that we have an approved report and we'll be sending it out.
Yes.
So we have done our diligence with that. So until next time, I guess. Strategic plan.
This is a big update, but.
Yeah, the update, and then you also have, is this part of like?
This is part of the tool that we'll be working with, so just so that the board can kind of see what we're starting to look at some activities that fall under each of the strategic directions. And then, you know, we'll be breaking down the activities to kind of, specific objectives and activities to meet that. We're still working out the terminology so that we all can, you know, we're all saying the same thing. But this is kind of what we'll be using to track those things as, obviously, you know, different pieces of the strategic plan will be assigned to different people or different groups of people. So this will be a way for us to track that, and a way for us to then be able to pull that information out and then report on it to the board, to the public,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Well, then you're making it measurable too. So,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah. So this is our, kind of our first draft. We're working with this right now. You know, we'll tweak it as necessary for, you know, the staff that need to, that we have to do that with, so.
Yeah. Great. Any questions about that? Thank you for including it.
Yeah, it's a little crowded on when you print it out and stuff, but we've got it like on all our computers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And for the most part, we would be tracking it online, you know, or at least digitally, electronically. And then, as I said, you know, I've been thinking a lot about how to report out on some of this. One of the last things that, you know, once Amanda kind of handed everything over to us, and, you know, she gave some examples about how people, different libraries report on that, both to their boards and then to their public. And, you know, some libraries really incorporate, because as I've said a number of times, right, throughout this whole process, is that I really want this to be a document that helps guide us.
Yeah.
And both in kind of figuring out what we want to do, and then looking at what we are doing and making sure that it still is within what we have determined are our strategic directions. So, you know, there are some libraries that really say, okay, like, they've changed the way that they do their monthly reports, for example, to the board completely, and really focus on how their activities each month meet their strategic goals, or, you know, are working towards their strategic directions and strategic goals. So we're still kind of figuring all of that out, and obviously, as we get further into that, I'll be coming more to the board to say, you know, how do you guys want to see this information, and how often do you want to see updates on this? Is it something that you do want us to include monthly, and that kind of thing? So we're still working out some of those kinds of things.
Yeah. no, I think it's great because it's, oftentimes institutions will do a strategic plan or some sort of overall type of, you know, whatever it is, some sort of guiding set of rules or a strategic plan, and then they do it because it's, they had to do it, and they check it off. And then it sits there, and then it's not necessarily utilized, you know, as the institution functions, so, and you're using this, and you're, you know, trying to find ways to, you know, use it as a tool, as it should be,
Right.
so, yeah. Great. Okay. New business, well, as we all heard, the policy committee's next meeting is coming up next week. And, you guys have a few to review, so that will be coming up. Communications, I know you did email this, but this was a very nice one.
It was,
so,
yes, yes.
this was a really nice letter to receive. Always nice to.
Yeah, I did forward it to the adult services staff and so they saw it and stuff, so it was, yeah. For someone who's not, there are some of our regular patrons that send things regularly, and that's always nice to hear and stuff like that, but for someone who we haven't had interactions with before and who isn't necessarily a group resident or something like that, but it's just coming into. But I thought he had very nice things to say about the staff and the space, and that was really gratifying to hear. And stuff, so.
Yeah.
Especially because he works kind of in an adjacent field.
Right, I know.
It's kind of like even more meaningful
Yeah.
in coming from somebody who's in education.
Yeah.
And then also it wasn't about a one-off incident.
Right.
He's like, every time I'm here, I kind
Every
of
time,
overhear the way the staff interact with patrons, and it's always really
Right.
pleasant, professional, so.
And, you know, for me as a director, and you know, for you guys as the board, obviously, and representatives of the community and of the library to the community, the idea that this is the way that staff interacts with people when they're not aware, anyone paying attention to them, right? I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm talking to a board member, so I have to be extra nice, that kind of thing, right? It's just, this is how I'm dealing with people every day, and anyone that's overhearing those interactions are gonna hopefully come away with a positive impression of the staff member and of the library, so.
But thank you for including it, that's great. All right, public comments, non-agenda items, it is still just us here tonight, so 7:22.